What up? This is Rocher here from YourPDL, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about having a freedom of outcome. Right now I'm at the Hague Passage, really beautiful place. If you get the chance to come here, I highly recommend it. And if you don't get the chance, at least you'll see some imagery through my footage. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about having a freedom of outcome. I'm going to talk about what a freedom of outcome is, how a lack of it can basically ruin your life, and then I'm going to talk about the frame switch you're going to have to make if you have a lack of freedom of outcome and how to deal with it. So what is freedom of outcome? Basically what I mean by having a freedom of outcome is that you're willing to make mistakes. And this is something that is really important, especially when you're trying to create your own lifestyle and basically you're doing your own thing. Because when you're doing that, you're basically stepping aside from the social and societal narrative. And because you're doing your own thing, you're basically in unfamiliar territory. And when you're in unfamiliar territory, it's basically easy to make mistakes. But when you're afraid to make mistakes and you're really on that path, you don't progress. And as a result, you might never get to that end goal that you are looking for. So this is really a problem. And the first time I had to deal with having a lack of freedom of outcome was basically when I was 16 and studying for my exams. Back then, I had a massive fear of failure, and I denied it. But my mom, she saw it, and she was like, "Rocher, you have fear of failure. You really need someone to help you with it." And I was like, "No, I don't have a fear of failure. I'm just trying to be extra careful and trying to really understand the things I'm learning. So if I don't make it the first time, it's because I'm not really getting it 100% because I'm doing it because at first I want to understand math, and then I want to understand science, and then I want to understand physics, and I'm just taking my time. So maybe that the year after that, when I really understand everything, that I can succeed with doing it." And this is really a terrible mindset because on the one hand, it's good because you really want to understand anything. But in my case, I was basically making excuses for myself because when I failed that first exam, I could rationalize to myself like, "Oh yeah, I didn't fail because actually I really wasn't applying myself 100% for my studies, so I could do it next year." And because I had that mentality, I was set back for a lot of years. And in those years, I could have done a whole lot of awesome stuff. So this was a really big problem for me. And this is a problem for a lot of people because it isn't something that only influences your academic results. It can also influence your career or every other aspect in your life, such as, I don't know, for example, dating. Because let's say you're walking on the street with your friend, and this girl comes by, and she's pretty average. She's not super cute or anything, and your friend's like, "Yo, go talk to her, or I'll give you $10 if you talk to her, and try to get her number." If she looks pretty average and that kind of stuff, and you're not really that super attracted to her, it's gonna be easy, like, "What up? I'm Rocher, how you doing, blah, blah, blah," that kind of stuff, and seem pretty cool, and that kind of stuff. But let's say you're in that same situation, and basically that stunner comes up that's like really hot, and basically is maybe your dream girl. You're gonna be a lot more attached to the outcome, and because you're trying to make it work, your willingness to make mistakes is going to disappear. And this can manifest itself in it can manifest itself in different ways. For example, you could walk up to her and you're trying to make it work, And because you don't want to fail, your brain comes up with all kinds of things that you could say. And because it's so much, you don't know what to pick, that you basically become stifled and don't pick anything at all. And as a result of that, you're going to walk up to the girl and be like this. You're going to be like that, and basically you're going to ruin it for yourself. Another example in the same situation could be like you're going there and you're talking to her, and you might even have enough willingness to make mistakes to actually pick a course of direction, actually talk to her, but you might have like a vulgar sense of humor. And basically when you talk to her, you're like, okay, this is going well, but I don't want to ruin this. So this joke that's in my mind right now, it's a little bit vulgar, so let's not say it. And when you're doing that, you're basically denying her a really big part of your personality. And by the same token, she could only be into guys that have vulgar sense of humor. So by you not saying that joke, she's like, ugh, his humor is too clean, he's too boring. Shoo, I don't like you, that kind of stuff. And by the same token, you had that personality, but because you didn't bring your personality to the front, you never gave her the chance to see your personality, and you're ruining it for yourself. And this is something that's really a shame, and this is something that can happen in every instance in your life. So how do you deal with having a lack of outcome? Because everybody will have a lack of outcome in at least one thing. So the best way I know to deal with this is to make a mental switch. So when you don't have that willingness to make mistakes, you're basically in a mind state where you have a scarcity of chances. So basically in your mind there are a limited amount of chances, and you don't want to fuck it up because you think it's your final chance. So what you need to do is switch from having a scarcity of chances to having an abundance of chances. So for example, with the exams, you could be like, okay, maybe I won't make it the first time, but there's also a re-exam where I can give it my all too and then pass it then. And if that re-exam isn't there, I'm going to do another re-exam. And if I don't do that and fail, I'm going to do it next year. And you might have to do it 4 times, but at least the first 3 times, you're giving yourself a chance to succeed, even though you might not make it those first 3 times. Another example would be like with the girls. If you have that vulgar type of humor, if you have a mentality where you have like abundance, you would think like, okay, I'm going to take the risk and put my identity out there, and if she gets offended, well, c'est la vie. Maybe there are probably a lot of other girls around here that might be my dream girl that are into that vulgar sense of humor, for example, that don't get offended. So what I'm trying to say here is offend girls. No, just kidding, but put your personality to the front, and if she get offended, c'est la vie. There are other girls, at least you know. So that's all I want to say for today. You now know that having a freedom of outcome is a willingness to make mistakes. You know that having a lack of freedom of outcome can prevent you from making mistakes, and because you're not making those mistakes, you're not furthering in your life. And to deal with that, you're going to have to switch from having a scarcity mentality to having a abundance mentality. So yeah, this is Rocher here, YourPDL, the purpose-driven life. Peace.